Good afternoon. I am Rafael, and she is Anna. We both of us work in the ESPC, which is the organization that gives training to firefighters across the Escola de Bombers and the police across the police school. We work in the Escola de Bombers, which is the firefighters school. And I'm too a firefighter. I have half of my work schedule in the school and the other half in the operations. Then I'm working in the street half of my time. And we're going to show you a project that was born in a fire station because one day some colleagues thought that there are lots of things that we have to know. Here we have the proof of that. We are talking all the day about knowledge and new materials, new procediments, new strategies. There are lots of new things that we have to train and as a trainers, and we have to know as a firefighters. Then we have lots and lots and lots and lots of training. And we do it, and we try to do it in the better way. And we have a lot of well-trained firefighters. But sometimes, perhaps we lose a part of our knowledge, and we can be blocked in a situation because we can't remember something concrete. Our project is talking about that, is how to make accessible the knowledge when you need. When you need, we think that it's, for example, when you are in the checking of your engine in the morning, you are walking around the engine, and you are looking at every material, every tool, and perhaps you don't remember how it works, or you don't remember a part of a maneuver. Then what we are going to do is something like, if in a naive and schematic video, I will to show you here. Perhaps it will be a little strange for you at the beginning, but after that I'm going to explain. This is the brain of a well-trained firefighter. No vull liar-la molt perquè si no... I és que em veia ahir que li costava una miqueta. Well, this is a little bit strange perhaps, but I'm going to try to explain you what's this. This is a firefighter, properly trained, and every one of these puzzle pieces are a piece of knowledge. And sometimes can occur that you lose one of these pieces. Our project is based in the idea that we can underline these special ideas, these concrete ideas, and how we can return this piece to the brain is with a video, not more length than 39 seconds, without audio, that you can catch with a QR code that lets you this piece of information and return to your brain. It seems a little bit strange, but I think that with the examples, it's going to work. Well, now how it's the knowledge of an organization. It's what we are talking about. And what's now our know-how QR project? We would like to to show the way in where we are thinking how can you access to all this knowledge. Here there are lots of knowledge. How to help a firefighter who is checking all these tools in a way that can be both immediately and, if you want, private. And I say private because sometimes, as I'm almost old firefighter and I'm a commander, then it's supposed that I know almost everything, but perhaps it's not true. And perhaps I'm not very confident to ask, sorry, can you explain me that because I don't remember now? And, and perhaps for me it's easier, go to the machine, go to the tool, and catch the QR code that gives me the information that I need. Then, perhaps it sounds a little bit strange to say, why private? But it's not so strange. We analyzed in the first phase of this project what kind of people was catching the videos. And surprisingly for us was the elder people, the people who is not used to go to school, at least it was compulsory. And they were the people that was more interested in catch this knowledge, because they haven't to ask anybody. They can go and just know. But it's not, this is not the main goal, the main objective. This is a spin-off of the objective, but we say, wow, it's not bad. Our goal was to give people the opportunity to make their every morning check something with sense, something that allows you, when you are walking around the engine, improving your knowledge or remembering, because this is not training. For sure, nobody thinks that with a 39 seconds video you can learn nothing that you don't know previously. This is only a flash of knowledge to return this piece to your brain. Why 39 seconds? Because somebody was in the analysis of the enters in the website and was able to see that the videos with more than 1 minute or 1 minute and a half, people don't finish and stop. Then we thought, well, we are going to do short enough to don't have time to cut them. And sorry. And without audio, because usually you are looking these videos in a garage, in a fire station with the engines running, with a walkie-talkie talking, and in a noisy environment. Then it's a little bit frustrating if you can't understand what's happened there. It's for that we decide change audios by graphics. It's very difficult to make a video of 39 seconds and that this video make a sense. It's very difficult. We have to work very hard to reach this objective. But we are working in that. And we have some videos here, all of them related to automatic ladders, Magirus and METs, that remember us some parts of not very common maneuvers. This is the part of the analytics in the back side of the videos. Allow me show you some videos. First of all, I'm going to show you one video which is the final result. This is a firefighter, a big firefighter. He's going to the ladder. It's a MET, and he don't remember. I will pass again. Perhaps he don't remember how can use this new spare part that METs sell us, which is this part, which is for rescue of persons using this this ladder. And then they catch the video, and he say, wow, pink, this flash of information is again in my brain. This is one of the videos. This is a promotional video.
59 seconds?
It's less than 39 seconds. And we have now different videos. I will say that perhaps there are not the perfect videos. We are working in that. But one of the goals of this video is, if you don't have the proper training, is that you are not going to understand nothing. It only has sense if you know what are we talking about. Another thing is that there are not so much references in the video, but it's not necessary because the video is just in the tool. Then you know what are you asking. Then, for example, if a Magirus CC have an electronic mistake and don't work, you have to do something like that. This is not working. You have to put in manual way. And this way, you can go down with the. If the failure is electronic and mechanic, there is another procedure. And we have another kind of more videos about that, which is, for example, no. About these things. This is the new for us at least, the new spare part from METs to make rescues of persons. For sure, if you don't know how it works, with this short video, you're not going to train. But if you know what it's talking about, I think that it's a good help. Anyway, what I say, like I said, it's not important now the concrete video. We are working, and in fact, we are here together to show you this and to ask you, what do you think about that, and what kind of items do you think that are a good point of work for this project? Then, I don't know if the concept is clear for you, so if you understand. Then, if you think that, if you have any questions, I will be so happy to answer you. In otherwise, we are going to do the other part of the workshop, what will be led by Anna, and which is.
May I jump in?
Yeah.
Do you have any results of how do the people experience it?
Yeah.
Do they use it? Do they find it?
There are two different experiences. At the beginning, we start with another kind of videos, longer, and very homemade. And they was very interesting because we discovered that the target was more varied than we thought, and was very well accepted, but they were so much large. And then people abandon sometimes, and we say, okay, it seems that it works, but we have to change things. Then we start again, and a couple of years ago, of weeks ago, we put these QR codes in all the ladders of our region, which is something like six where I am talking about at half of the province of Barcelona. There are 6 fire stations with one of these ladders, and we put the code in.
And are these professional firemen or volunteers?
Professional. Everybody.
Because I can imagine, if I reflect to our own province in the north, that the professional people would be embarrassed to need to know that. They need to know it by heart. But with the volunteers, as the amount of practice is so little during the year,
Yeah.
you can imagine that you can.
But the point is, people is embarrassed to use this, but this don't let us to think that they don't need. I don't know if you understand me, because my English is not very Shakespeare, from like Shakespeare. But the point is that it's myself. When first they explained me the program, I said, wow, you are talking about me. Because sometimes I don't remember. I know lots of things, as you can imagine, lots. Because
then I say I don't remember.
Yeah.
You should know it.
Yeah. Then this is a support for everybody. Because this kind of maneuvers that we start with working are not so usual. Usually a ladder works, and you go up and go down, it's not a problem. But when is there a failure is when you say, oh, what was wrong? Electronic, mechanic, electronic and mechanic, and what it was? I don't remember.
Do you expect that to use it in operational situations?
This is not the point.
Okay.
This is not the point.
And remembering
Yeah. For us, the point is when you are in the checking in the morning, is the moment to know everything.
Yeah.
When you are working, you have to know.
So
You have to.
Refresher of
Yeah.
the knowledge that
You have to do the homework at home, not at work.
No.
Yeah. And sí, bueno. Pero las tenim aquí també les preguntes? En algú? No? A veure, what we are going to do is we need to improve our program, and we need your help to improve our program. We would like to know, a veure on ho tenim això. Do you think if QR code a program it's useful for you? Then we have to go to do some questions that we hope you can answer us, which is Anna is going to lead this part.
But I think that, Rafael, you have to be near to me to close, because if not, there is no
We have only one microphone.
We'll be together for the camera and for the microphone.
I'm an object man, concretely a support of microphone.
I can say this.
Okay, this is the first part, this is the theoretical part. In a workshop, it's expected that you do things, not only us. Yes, of course. And as Rafael told you, we want to know if this could be useful for you, because in this project we have different phases and different steps. And from the first idea that came 1 year ago, more or less, till now, we were working a lot, doing videos, having different people in our organization working on these videos. It's too hard to do these videos, because you could imagine doing a video of 10 minutes explaining or training. It's not easy, but you have so many time to do different positions and speeching and something like this. With 39 seconds, you have to select very well what are you going to explain and how this objective could be arrived to the firefighter. For this reason, we will do an activity now. Okay? The first part of the activity is a personal activity.
It's very easy, it's only two questions.
It's easy, it's 2 questions. All of you are Dutch?
But you are able to write in English, I hope.
No, because I'm not able to read in those.
You are not able to write in Catalan, I suppose.
No?
It's a pity, it's a very good idiom.
We have 2 questions for you. It's only 5 minutes of answer these questions. And then we will do working groups. Working groups to discuss another things, and in a different way. It will not be the typical group that being 1 hour discussing. No, you will move a little bit. We are firefighters. So you like to move. We have two questions, a personal, a couple of individual questions. As a firefighter, if you are, all of you are firefighters or not, or as a person related with the firefighters, do you think that this loss of a piece of knowledge could happen? And if do you think that this project, our project, could be a solution? We want to show you, we have shown you this project because we will think that it's a project that it's not only for a region of Spain that is called Catalonia. It could be in our parts of Europe and our part of the world, because most of the firefighters have the same problems and the same tools and the same engines, and could be a thing that is sold to any place of the world. Okay? In 5 minutes, I give you one paper, you write. It's not necessary to write on one side and on the other, two faces. Or it's enough. 3 faces.
If you need, we have some.
If you need more papers, we have more papers.
Well, we'll have a lot of papers. We asked for 50 sheets and we have something like 500.
I can say 500 instead of 50, I'm not sure. 5 minutes?
We are really interested in your answers. Then we are going to collect your papers because we have we would like to have your information. We don't need your name. It's not If you have any more questions, please don't ask. No, per mí.
The video another time, remember?
So only to
For the
fix.
piece that it's lost.
Dan ga ik wel gewoon met die FSS weggeven.
Ja, wie speelt?
Heb je eerst goed indruk?
Dat jij die pen krijgt.
Ja.
Dat zou ook.
Moet je er nog een?
Ja, deze doet ook niet.
En die ook niet.
It's not my fault.
Oh, that's what he said. He needs some more.
Nee, dan.
It's for free.
Ja.
Look.
Nee, ik hoef ze niet te doen. Je hebt er nou
Does it work this? No work this?
No, this one is working.
This one?
Finally.
Did you finish?
Okay.
Minutes.
Okay.
Engels? Gaan we een beetje ook wel.
Però estan bastant sentats així. No, però vull dir que estan més o menys en grups. Els hi llegeixo les preguntes abans.
Sí, no, pots llegir la final de la presentació.
Puc passar a la presentació?
Yes, you finished?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you can read it. I did it in English, but some poor handwriting.
Don't worry about your English.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Traveling to Barcelona, I can read a lot of things. Like a novel? Well, this first part was not difficult, no? Well, let's do the second part of the activity. Let's do the second part. This is I don't know if you do this type of group dynamic any time. It's a dynamic called work affair. It's supposed that has to be coffee and something to eat, but we finished the lunch now, and if I see that there is coffee, I will say, oh, you have a coffee. This is the idea. It's only a name. Okay? This is a... Oops, sorry. No? Oh, technology and me are good friends. This is a dynamic methodology that we use to create informal network to discuss and to learn one from each other, okay? And to exchange the knowledge and the experiences. We call as an expert knowledge. It's a dynamic of an expert knowledge. You could learn from each other, and the group will learn better if you are together. Okay? Oh, sorry. Other side. Which is a methodology. We will have a discussion. We will have to talk. Of course, another group dynamic that you did, I suppose, of so many times in your life. Okay? Around the subject. And each group will choose a host. I don't know if this is the correct translation. A representative, a person that will take notes and...
A secretary.
Yes, secretary. Or a commander.
Commander.
Okay. And every 7 minutes we will change the group. Only the host will stay in the same place. The idea is not to be always with your friends or with the people you know. You have to change with another people and to could speak about all the subjects that we propose. Okay? Then we will share all the conclusions. We will be quickly. I think that we finish in 1 hour, perhaps, or more than. I don't remember now.
At 3 o'clock.
At 3?
Yes.
Yes, 40 minutes. We have 40 minutes. Okay? The subject, the thematic we will speak about is, of course, the QR project, and we will present you some questions to think about it. Okay? And one thing, the norms. You have to discuss in positive. You don't have to speak in negative. It's very easy to say, oh, this won't work, it's impossible to have in our fire stations. No, think in positive, in the good things that the project could be. And think in the future, not in the past. In my fire station, it's impossible to do because there was a person that. No, always in positive. You have to do an effort. Okay? And the host, what will do the commander of the group? Will have to take notes, we'll have to moderate the discussion, and we'll have to synthesize the discussion that was done before. Every 7 minutes, as I told you, you have to change your group. The representative will be the same, and he or she has to say, in the other group, they speak about this idea. And then we could begin with your new discussion. We will do some changes, but not so much because with 40 minutes we don't have a lot of time. 7 minutes per group. Everybody change group and friends, please. And you have to do active listening. You have to listen the others and explain your ideas. Remember, in positive and thinking on the future. Okay? Respect the timing, change colleagues, discuss in positive. And the idea is, what do you think about our project? And especially in the videos. Do you think that the length of there are some ideas to discuss? Because if not, say, it's interesting or not interesting. Let's talk about detailed areas. Do you think that the length of the videos is enough to stress a flash of information? Do you think that not including audio is a good idea? As I told that we have to speak in positive, try to be positive, or a bad idea, you decide. And about your organization and our project, two subjects, do you think that this project could be applied to your organization? We are applying now in our organization. We have a pilot, in a pilot phase, with Rafael told you in a 6 fire station doing and proving the QR code, okay? But we want to know if in other organizations could be possible or not. And would you change something if this project has to be in your organization? And if you can collect a couple of items where the project could be implemented, a couple of situations, or tools, or ideas, or something that you think that could be interesting, have these little videos without no doubt. Okay?
As you can see, this workshop is something like you are working for us for a while, because we need this input, we need improve with other people's opinions. We have to now, if every what we think that can work, it's shared for you, the idea.
The idea is you have your expert knowledge, and we want to know it, to use your expert knowledge to improve our project. And if it's possible, to share with you our project. Okay? We will do your icon 24, if I'm not wrong counting. I'm from letters, not from maths. And we could do 5 groups, 4 or 5 people and 1 or 4, no? Because a group, bigger groups could be very difficult to. Okay? Separated groups. Come on, stand up.
Leek me wel zo gezellig.
Oh, which will we do? Oh.
Ja?
Who wants to be first?
The first one, please.
Clap your hands. Thank you for being first.
Wait till So there were 3 groups, and there were also 4 questions, which you are familiar with. The length in the video and no audio with it. For most groups, it's not that big a problem. It's quite right. At the other hand, 2 of the 3 groups told me a little bit of flexibility would be nice. So it could be somewhat shorter, somewhat longer, and maybe sometimes audio is also good. Can it be applied? Yes, certain. All 3 groups concurred with that. But I also said it's also a good idea to have the complete manual somewhere.
Yeah.
Not in this one, but somewhere on the
fire station.
Thank you. Where can you apply it? Where can you implement it? especially machinery was a total lot, and different small items. Because of the length of the video, you are most of the times it's small items, but some groups also said it should be part of a bigger system. So if you want to look at an instruction video that is longer, it's also something that should be possible. Maybe not on your phone, but at the fire station, at the TC station, something like that. And one thought that was a nice thing. Hey, why shouldn't these videos be supplied by the producer of the tools? It could be a nice one. That so you don't have to make them yourselves, but they come from the producer right away when you buy the equipment.
Yeah.
That is
Hij begint te schrijven in de goeie.
Okay, any questions?
Good story.
Ja.
Lekker klaar.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
We had a lot better groups, of course. There were 3 of them.
We noticed.
Yes,
We
of
noticed
course.
that.
Yeah, I searched for them, so it was okay. No, I'm just joking. About the length of the videos and including audio or not. Some people in the group said different materials should use different time, and also different materials should have more time, so you can choose if you want to know more about it or less. We also said it should be a safe way to not use the audio, because you can sneak out and check the material, check the code. So it could be a safe way to use no audio. And what you also told, I think, it should be only used for short learning again, not learning the new thing about it.
Yeah.
Then we talked about if you would apply it in our organization, or would you change some things for making it more useful? And about a couple of items where we could implement it. Some people said at their fire department you should not be allowed to use a mobile phone when you're on outlook.
On call.
Duty.
Yeah, this is true.
Bij wie mogen geen foto's? Nee. Is dat het? Installaties allemaal, volgens die tijd.
Ah, dat is de reden. Okay.
Chemical
Yeah.
installations.
Oh, okay. This is not. Yeah, for sure.
That would be a problem.
Okay.
But maybe we also have it in the north of Holland. We have iPads on the fire car, so maybe we use them. But then it's no longer sneaky to use it. You know. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dat is ook Spaans dus.
Oh yeah, we also talked about the makers of the materials, Holmatro or anything. They should make the videos for us, so in the whole of Netherlands the same video would be available. And the materials, the equipment, where it should be used for, no procedures. I think it's only for equipment. For stabilization equipment for cars or anything that should be useful. So yeah, a lot of more of course, but this is always a thing. We have stop fast, and every time you get it from the car, you think, well, should it be up or down? You know,
Yeah.
so that would be easy. Yeah.
We have some videos about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We were testing with we are not using because we are not really happy with the result.
Okay.
But we have videos about
All right.
cars and stabilization and crash and
Yes.
use of this kind of.
Okay. Yeah. I think also what Jelmer said before in the group, and also my opinion. A lot of people think, I should have to know everything. And I think that's the hard part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will they use it? Will they not use it. By myself, I think that's the hardest. When it's some kind of sneaky, or you can watch it at home, or it would be better, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next one.
The length of the videos, they are very short, and some people thought that the videos might be substituted by pictures in some cases because they contain very few information. It could also be very useful in case of new equipment. I heard some people say that there could be two types of videos, a short version and a long version. And some people also said it could be linked to a database with more information. Not the video, but a textbook or something, or more background information. It's probably most useful for procedures and situations that are not very common. So not the everyday training situation, but the things that you don't practice a lot. And it could also be used for volunteers and not just for professional firefighters.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will pick up all your papers because I think that we don't remember.
Oh, it's in Dutch on the paper.
It's in Dutch? Oh.
Well, in Argos, a lot of the things already mentioned before were also mentioned. So about the length of the videos, they thought it was good to have short videos, but also to be flexible with it. So maybe make some longer and some shorter if it's needed. Because of the length of the videos, it was also mentioned that it would probably be most useful for tools, for machinery, and maybe less for procedures. But maybe for procedures with an option to make a longer video, so if you would want to know more about it, then you can look it up. Also, not including audio, I think it was pretty much consensus that it was a good idea, so you could do it sneaky. There was some discussion on whether or not there's a lot of noise in the fire stations. So I guess it differs a bit. How it would be applied, I think a lot of people thought it would be very useful, especially for things that don't happen a lot, they don't use a lot, so it's easy to refresh in your memory. Also for volunteers who especially don't use things as much as professionals, or even less than professionals. And so I think that was the consensus that would be useful, and mostly for machinery tools.
In relation with used by volunteers or professionals, this QR code, we have to show you. We put these labels on the tools, and this could be used by anyone that is on the station. Because we have some stations that are only for volunteers and some stations that are only for professionals, but sometimes there are also volunteers in this firefighter station. And this, if this is in a tool, you could use if you are a volunteer or you are a professional. It's not, we're not separated the use of the tool, but the first idea is we're thinking, no, Rafael?
Sorry, I was looking for a video, sorry. No, I was corrected.
It's not only for professionals.
No. The key point is...
We talk more about professionals because we have more professionals.
This is not for professionals or volunteers. This is for the tool.
But
what will it mean?
Why it came up is that in our case, our professionals practice every third day. Twice, and our volunteers practice every 14 days, 2 hours. So the length
they need more
before they get back to the same subject is a long time, and this would help a lot if they can refresh faster.
But anyway, the point is that you put the tool, the code, on the tool. You make the same video. And you put the code on the code. If you meet, you use, and if you don't meet, you don't need you use. Yeah.
The last group, I think. Huh? We are on time, I think.
Well, about the audio and the length of the video has been said. Well, quite. We have we did that discussion already, mostly the same on this side. Bullet 5, do you think it would be applied to your organization? That would be a yes. And you can also monitor how many times the QR code has been scanned, so that you as an organization can tell where you need some more instructions on that level. Bullet 5, please tell us a couple of items where the project could be implemented, mainly on tools and as a runner-up for exams. So if you know that your firemen are up to an exam, you can give them a number of items they need to scan, so that they at least saw the materials, so they are ready for the exam.
Thank you very much. It's finished. Yeah, I only would like to say something about your. Yeah, if you doesn't mind, we are going to pick up your papers. Okay. Because we need it to remember everything that you say.
We need a QR code
we
to
need,
remember. We cannot remember all the description.
And we need an excuse to return here to learn Dutch, to translate the papers. Anyway, about the putting the complete manual in the videos, this is a good idea, but it's not this idea. This idea is only, it's because, why it's only 39 seconds? It's because it's only a flash of information. It don't go like, we don't want to make a summarized video. It's only a flash, a piece of information to complete your training. This is not training, this is not practicing, it's only a flash of information. What about the suppliers, that if they have to make or not the videos? It's a good idea and we are thinking about, but we would like to have a little more advanced the project, to speak with them, to work in this area. The fact that we don't put audio nowadays, we can change, but nowadays we don't put audio only for the noise in where you are working usually, and then it's for that. Perhaps there are situations in which an audio is better than infography, but at the moment we think that we are talking in this, we are working in this sense. And about a very important thing is, somebody says this is good for small things, but small items, but not for big items. The goal of the aim of the project is for everything, but not for everything item, all the information, but only the flash, only that we underline with the fluo. Anyway, I think we are finished now. Thank you very much. We are very happy with your work, and thank you a lot.
If any one of you want more information, here you have the contact. You can send me an email.
And we need your papers, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.